Morning, everyone. This is Russell Rucker, and I'm here for another constitutional talk. And today, I'd like to get back into the convention, which is what this background painting is. And I'd like to talk to you about the final day. After all the debates and all the arguments, and those that were opposed mostly had left. And they had gathered to sign. And 3 men did not. 3 men still refused. And those men were Randolph, Mason, and Gary. Now, Randolph actually proposed the Virginia plan, which much of this Constitution was to begin with. But here he still stands opposed. Gary would later be known for gerrymandering. I'm not sure if I pronounce it Jerry or Gary, but as governor of Massachusetts, he had passed a map giving his party more power in the state, and that's mostly what he's famous for. But here, he gives a passionate speech, and he explains why he cannot sign. He's concerned that some in his state are divided quite evenly, actually. Some wanting a republic, is what this was, and some wanting a democracy, which we definitely do not have. And he was concerned that it would result in a great civil war, and they would be fighting amongst each other. But he had also had other complaints. He complained about an overbearing legislature. I mean, he went on and on with his complaints. Mason also refused to sign, but all the rest did. Now, Mr. Gary went on and on explaining, as well as some of the others. Mr. Randolph spoke, "I rise with an allusion to the observation of Dr. Franklin's and apologize for my refusing to sign. If 9 states fail to ratify the plan, confusion will ensue. I ought not, I will not. By pledging myself to support the plan, retaining myself from taking steps as might appear most consistent with the common good." But Gary was much more in depth in his complaints. And basically, when he got through speaking, there wasn't anything he liked at all. But the members did proceed to sign. Those last members signed it. Dr. Franklin then noticed the back of Washington's chair had a rising sun painted on it. Dr. Franklin remarked to some of the others immediately there that the painter had some difficulty distinguishing between a rising and a setting sun. And now at length I'm happy to notice it to be a rising and not a setting sun. So Franklin is talking about moving forward, and the country that would be more like a rising sun than a setting sun. That we were at the birth of a nation, and we were on our means to go. And when they left the hall, a woman asked him, "Dr. Franklin, what have we?" And he responded, "We have a republic, if you can keep it." They spent 4 months hashing over the Constitution. This book, 126 Days in Philadelphia, does give you a real good understanding of what happened. It uses actual arguments from the convention and even a storyline running through it to make it more readable to many of our citizens. But you would leave away with a very good understanding of the concepts they fought so hard for and worked so hard towards. There were many that thought they'd overstayed their rights and authorities by Congress by simply not just amending the Articles of Confederation. But they worked tirelessly for 4 months. These men we have to thank for the kind of government we now have. The convention was an extraordinary meeting by some of the finest men of their day. They worked through periods that they just could not agree. They made compromises. And as Franklin's last speech says, he does not agree with everything here, but he does not know that eventually he would not agree with everything there. Because with his age and ability, many times he's changed his mind over things that he thought were otherwise. And he points out that it's the best that we can do with the unique differences and opinions of those present throughout the colonies that appeared. One colony did not send delegates. They agreed to go along with the decision of the group. And when you look at the Constitution, you look at the document that was created, I'd like you to believe, as I do, that it really was a wonderful document created by the most brilliant men of their day. Was it perfect? No. They left it open so it could be changed, so that it would be perpetual. The same way it actually said the perpetual union, the Articles of Confederation and perpetual union is the correct long term of those articles. And here we continue on with this perpetual union. After we fought the Civil War, there was even a Supreme Court decision that went on stating the South had no right to leave because of this very line in the Articles of Confederation. And they said when the states signed on, they signed on to a perpetual union. I'm not sure specifically I agree with that whole statement of our Supreme Court Justice, but it is an interesting thing, is it not? That it would be a perpetual union. And the purpose of leaving it open in the 5th article is for that reason, so that change could happen. They did the best they could at the time they could and created one of the most powerful documents known to man. And that is why it has lasted as long as it has. So I thank you for your time today. And as we wrap up the section on the convention, and if you want to know more about what they're arguing about, pick up 126 Days in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is short for Philadelphia. It's a very old spelling. It's what's on our Liberty Bell. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'll catch you next time on the next Constitutional Talk. You folks have a good day for now. Bye now.